What's up guys, this is the final part to the series of first reactions I've been doing to the self-titled album by Fleetwood Mac released in 1975. This video features 3 tracks, the final 3 tracks. It's World Turning, Sugar Daddy and I'm So Afraid. World Turning was a track that was previously covered by the band in their debut album, but of course it didn't feature Buckingham and Nix, and it's a cover of a Peter Green track. So they decided to redo it. Then you have the track Sugar Daddy, which I don't actually have much information from, except the fact that it's supposed to be a great track. And then thirdly, you have I'm So Afraid, the album closer, which is a bluesy track featuring a guitar solo by Lindsey Buckingham. Hope you guys enjoyed this final video of this series. Okay, the final part to this fantastic album. So far, they've not missed yet. I can be honest and say that. So let's see how they end things here with World Turning. Okay, the vibe changes up once again. Slower, more emotionally vulnerable tracks into more upbeat tracks every time. Building.
Everybody trying to say I'm wrong. I just wanna be back where I belong. World turning. I'm gonna get my feet back on the ground. World turning. Everybody's got me down. Maybe I'm wrong, but who's to say what's right? I need somebody to help me through the night.
The vocals are ridiculous.
World turning. I'm gonna get my feet back on the ground. World turning. Everybody's got me down.
Ooh.
Maybe I'm wrong, but who's to say what's right?
Really interesting effect that's going on with the lead vocalist's voice. The harmony sounds so different. I think it's between Buckingham and McVie who are doing the vocals, but it's like it has a strange echoey effect to it. I really like it.
I need somebody to help me through the night.
A lot of tension in the instrumentation too.
World turning.
We're building to something.
I'm gonna get my feet back on the ground. World turning. Everybody's got me down. Everybody's got me down. World turning.
Can you hear the layers of guitars on this thing and the way that they're weaving in and out of each other? Check that out, man. The sound of the mix is so pristine and clear.
Everybody's got me down.
Ooh. This is my favorite guitar line that they play. Those screechy kind of guitars with all that attitude. Funky. above. Thought someone was shouting. Okay, really interesting track. I think the best part of that track was the percussion. They had a very unique drum. You can still hear it there. It sounds like someone hitting it with their hands, right? And then every now and again, you'd have the intensity rise up when the drums would come back in. The drums are done by Fleetwood. Every now and again, it would just kick up the intensity when the drums came alive every time. Cool song. I liked it. Here we go. This is Sugar Daddy. Okay, super interesting kind of theme and lyrics in this one. I think it's really fitting for like today's society. There's a lot of this kind of stuff going on at the moment, this degenerate shit, sugar daddy shit. But it's a pretty hilarious track. It seems like Christine has a person who, an older gentleman who's wealthy, who's paying for her, but she's still got her man at the same time. So like, but when it comes to love, he'd better leave me alone. Like, you ain't getting none of this, even though you're paying. Ever so slight organs in the back. Just a musically rich, brilliant track. find it interesting that it's Christine who's singing this, because I've spoken about the differences between the voices of Nyx and McVie, and like McVie having strength in her voice, and maybe it is a reflection of her personality, because she could pull off something like this. You know what I mean? Having a dude pay for all your stuff and at the same time like not giving him any. That's quite the trick she's got going on there. Cool song. I found out through this album that the tracks that I like the most are the slower tracks, which are mostly written by Nyx, I think. I think this is another track that was written by McVie, because she's the one singing it, and that's how it usually goes. But it's a cool song. I mean, I can imagine like pop radio would have loved it at the time, and it'd be a great track to perform live. A really upbeat track, getting everyone moving. But my favorite track so far have all been the slower ones. So let's see how they round this one out. This track is called I'm So Afraid. Here we go. Whoa. Okay. Okay.
I've been alone all the year, so many ways to count the tears. I never change, I never will. I'm so afraid the way I feel.
Very different sound to the rest of the tracks. This is bluesy, very bluesy, and it's got that giant epic like organ line, I think, in the back, or is like a synth line. Great fullness to the backing of the song, and then that guitar in the front, in the lead, doing magic.
Days when the rain and the sun are gone, blackest night.
Wow.
It's calling my heart to life. So afraid, slipping and falling and
The screeching guitars are back. Oof.
I've been alone, always down. No one can to stay around. I never change.
Oh.
I never will. I'm so afraid the way I feel. Days when the rain and the sun are gone, black as night. Agony is calling my heart to life.
Such a different sound. This one sounds full of anguish. It's so deep. The bass is so resonant. Very different vibe, and it got those screeching guitars over the top of the thing. And I mean, Buckingham, what a brilliant musician, man. The range of the guy, the way he can sing in different themes as well. This one, he sounds completely like heartbroken.
So afraid, slipping and falling out how I feel. Days when the rain and the sun are gone, black as night. Agony is calling my heart to life. So afraid, slipping and falling out.
That harmony. That bass. Oh, Lord. Wow. Oh my word, where did that come from? Absolutely flipped the script on the album. It sounds like, how does go as far to say a different band? This was like a blues rock, like opera, you know? What a great song. Great song to end it. Okay, that was a brilliant album, man. Absolutely brilliant album. The standout track to me, maybe it'll surprise people, was Crystal. Crystal was just, I think the most surprising part of the fact of that track is like what place I'm coming from. I'm coming from a hip hop background, and to write a song that was so kind of sweet about a pure love that two people share with each other was so great. The fact that Nix wrote the track with Buckingham singing it. What I took away from this album is the fact that pop music can rise to this level of musicianship and be absolutely accessible to a new listener like myself without having to concede on making great music and being really high in terms of musicianship. That's like the biggest takeaway. And I think what essentially happened to like pop music was albums in this era came along and the music was so good and so powerful and connected so strongly with people that business interests came along and decided to like hijack the whole music industry. And then you have a lot of like formulaic shit that came afterwards. Talk about the 90s with a lot of like boy bands and stuff. No knock. I don't wanna just make it out like there's no good music nowadays. There certainly is. I mean, I'm a hip hop fan. I love the music of today, but certainly pop music took a big hit because this is a different level to what's being made right now. The production quality was fantastic. It was engineered really well. I like the sequencing of the album as well. They did this dynamic where they'd go soft and strong and soft and strong, or maybe like soft and upbeat, where they would twist around with. Even the opening was super strong, and then you had like warm waves coming straight after. All in all, a brilliant album. It lived up to the hype. I think the first 8 tracks are literally like the gold standard. Then the 2 tracks that came after 9 and 10, I can't quite remember what they were called now. I'll just look it up. World Turning and Sugar Daddy, although they were good songs, they weren't my favorites, but then they brought it back with the final track of I'm So Afraid. So all in all, this album is like a 9 out of 10 for me on a first listen. And, you know, just with like 2 tracks that are kind of less strong, but, you know, altogether, I can absolutely see why it's thought of as being a classic. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing Rumors. I mean, if it's the better of the 2 albums, which a lot of people tell me is, dude, that's a big kind of task. But I think Fleetwood Mac can do it. Other than that, I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.